All right, welcome back to another edition of Rational Wrestling Talk. I haven't posted in a minute. Actually, I haven't posted in a month. Actually, been taking a break. Just been going through some things, busy with work, with other important things. But I'm back with a another discussion, another little hot take, if you will. Um, and this has a lot to do with Cody Rhodes and The Rock. And when it comes to the WrestleMania buildup, I have to say, there is really no excitement for Cody and Roman. And it's because The Rock is back for one. The Rock has garnered a lot of interest for the main event for this year's WrestleMania, right? It doesn't feel like that the focus is on Cody and Roman. And judging by their SmackDown interaction 2 weeks ago, which by the way did not deliver at all. Roman's and Cody's interaction, it just wasn't cooking. Okay. Those two did not have any heat. I didn't understand the logic of Cody wanting to shake Roman's hand when he is the cousin, right? He is the cousin and associated with the man that's been insulting his mother, insulting him, even beat him to a bloody pulp, right? Last week on Raw, right? The previous week, not this past week on Raw. But you want to shake Roman's hand. I don't understand that at all. Because it's like the reason why Roman Reigns is still Universal Champion, it's because of Solo Sikoa. The story should have been told kind of like this, that Roman has always been trying to duck Cody Rhodes. Okay, Roman in the back of his mind knows that he cannot beat Cody straight up unless he has help. That's something that Cody should have hammered home. Um, and did not bring up very good points at all in the promo. It just came across very flat. It came across too professional. And these two just don't have any heat. And that's very alarming because for your WrestleMania 40 main event, this is the last match that fans are going to watch, right? That's the last match of WrestleMania 40. So you would think that there's all this tension, all this heat for the big Universal Undisputed Championship match, whether it's bloodline rules or whether it's just a straight up fair match. It needs to be a bigger deal. Now it's too late because we had a whole 2 months, well, really a month and a half to really build up Roman and Cody individually, right? We already have the tag team main event, right? That's had a tremendous build up, right? And obviously, the reason Roman and Cody are just not clicking, it's because the focus is really on Cody and The Rock. Overall, this feud has been all about Cody and The Rock. Their beef in this heated angle with one another. And let's just let's just be honest here. When you look at The Rock's career and different iterations of his character, the great one. I mean, he first started out as Rocky Maivia, which we all know how that turned out to be, right? Very, very cringe. Also very tough times for The Rock personally. Dwayne Johnson, right? Um, then transition into, the people's champ, you know, the great one, The Rock, and then Hollywood Rock. Hollywood Rock, you know, was amazing. That theme song, one of the greatest theme songs of all time, right? The Hollywood Rock theme song with the helicopter in the background, and saying it's cooking, and I just love the rhythm, the beat, just the flow of the song. It's not really a song. It's pretty much instrumental, right? There's no lyrics and whatnot. It's just The Rock saying it's cooking, right? But that's such a legendary theme song, you know. And The Rock that we have now, it can be argued that this right here, The Rock currently in 2024, the final boss gimmick, because he is actually the boss, right? He's in office and whatnot, you know. It can be argued that this is the greatest version of The Rock that we have ever had. And it's all because of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the reason why we have this iteration of The Rock in front of us. Without Cody, The Rock he's not driven to put on good TV. He's not driven to pull out all the stops for WrestleMania. Like, this Rock has been firing on all cylinders. This Rock has been bringing it. Okay? Literally. He's been bringing it. The Rock has been on a roll since he transitioned into this final boss character. It's because Cody brought it out of him. Cody originally gave up his WrestleMania spot to The Rock, which was fully never explained. It was never explained, but we're just going to pretend that never happened, right? And then Cody said, this is BS at the press conference. He was like, man, ain't nobody want to see Roman and The Rock at WrestleMania. No one wants to see, blood versus blood. Like, man, fuck it. I want my championship match, man. I won the Royal Rumble, so I should be challenging for the undisputed Universal Championship, right? And then when Cody mentioned, Rock's family, Roman's family, then Rock slapped Cody, and then that was the beginning of a heated angle, right? And there's definitely some little bit of real life tension, because what if it turns out The Rock and Roman Reigns was always supposed to be the WrestleMania 40 main event? But when we look at what we have now, currently in front of us, on the build up to WrestleMania XL, would having Roman and The Rock, would that even be? I mean, obviously, the match itself, just the concept alone, is box office. But in terms of the in-ring quality, I don't think The Rock would be able to live up to the expectation. I don't think he would be able to keep up with Roman. And who's to say that buildup could have flopped? Because there's just not enough heat. It felt like there wasn't really any heat with Roman and The Rock. It's like you have to create a story, right? You have to start something that sparks that fuse between Roman and The Rock. It can't just be, oh, we're blood related. Oh, everybody wants to see this match. Everybody wants to, you know, tune into WrestleMania to watch The Rock and Roman Reigns. No, we can't just book fantasy matches just because the fan base is clamoring for it. We got to get away from that because why are these two feuding? Why are these two having beef? Like, what's the reason for these two men to be fighting each other at WrestleMania? Like, we need a backstory. We need a plot. Okay. We need some spice to The Rock and Roman. And there's no spice. There was no spice from the jump. There's no real layers, or um there's no legs for that match. The only way you can build up a believable story and a plot twist, right? The only way you can really build up any real interest for The Rock and Roman Reigns for next year's WrestleMania is by The Rock eventually, well, not eventually, because this Saturday and Sunday's WrestleMania, so it could happen with The Rock turning on Roman Reigns, right? He played Roman this entire time. He gassed him up. He had everybody fooled. He had the whole bloodline fooled and whatnot. He's not going to acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief. He lays Roman out with a rock bottom. And that could possibly happen in a tag match, or that could happen in night two's main event, right? And that could finally kickstart a match between The Rock and Roman, because it goes back to what's the reasoning for this match to happen. It can't just happen because the fans want it to happen, because we're fantasy booking, right? Because it's a dream match. That's not good enough. We need we need layers to this feud. If it's going to happen for next year's Mania, there has to be it's like there has to be a legit reason. Obviously, the story is they're blood related. Cool. Um, what else? Like, what else do you have? Are you going to alone just use that as ammunition for this match to take place at WrestleMania? You know, or are we going to get creative here and actually create a reason for The Rock and Roman to have a WrestleMania match, to manufacture heat between both men? The Rock turning on Roman is would be huge, right? That would be huge. That's already a blood boiled feud right there, ready to happen. Once The Rock makes that turn, once he pulls the trigger. But The Rock that we have right now, man, I'm entertained by this version of The Rock. I really am, man. It's best that we appreciate this Rock right now while we have him, because he ain't going to be around very often. There's a chance that he could turn back babyface once he turns on the bloodline and goes back to being, track suit wearing Rock, going back to, you know, Brahma Bull and whatnot. And then we completely disregard the final boss character, right? Um, we just have to thank Cody, man. Like, straight up. Cody Rhodes is the reason why we have this version of The Rock. No one else was gonna bring out this version of The Rock. This man came back after years and years. I mean, he's made appearances as a babyface, hit a rock bottom on a heel, and then just disappear. It took Cody freaking Rhodes, to not only get The Rock back for WrestleMania, but for him to turn heel and to, you know, creating this final boss character. And these two have been going at it for weeks and weeks. I mean, a lot of people are talking that we want to see a one-on-one match between The Rock and Cody, which, hey, if that was the case, I wouldn't be complaining. I mean that that's a one-on-one match all the way through. I mean, I like the idea of the tag team match, right? But a part of me really wants to have a one-on-one match with The Rock and Cody Rhodes because there's just no heat with Roman and Cody. There just isn't. It doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel like how it felt last year's WrestleMania. Like last year's WrestleMania, there was heat with Roman and Cody. You could believe that these two guys, not like they hated each other, but like there was just tension. Like you felt the tension between both the guys, right? You know, Cody being your biggest baby face, Roman being your biggest heel. They've been separated for so long. They're finally meeting together and it feels special. It felt special with their first face off, right? On last year's WrestleMania, like the build-up and whatnot. That first initial face off was special. Now, because The Rock is involved, it's like, I mean, you can't really ignore what The Rock is doing because The Rock is outshadowing, he's overshadowing Roman Reigns. In my opinion, this whole final boss character, The Rock, has actually exposed Roman Reigns. It has. His title reign, to me, is just dragging. It's dragging on right now. And it's time to take the belt off of him at this point because if he beats Cody, there's no one really believable enough to face Roman at this point because this is as good as it's ever going to get with Roman Reigns. Okay, the whole bloodline stuff and Cody Rhodes, this is as good as it's ever going to get with Roman Reigns. I'm telling you right now, Roman retains at WrestleMania. There's not going to be anything to look forward to with him as champion. And then we're just back to square one. With Cody being champion, it opens the door for more fresh feuds, fresh up matches, a possible Money in the Bank cash in by Damian Priest, who, by the way, looked very dominant in that 8-man tag match on Raw. Looked very dominant. So that was a sign that, hey, he might cash in this Saturday or Sunday. Who knows? But to conclude here, you know, the focus is really on The Rock and Cody Rhodes. Seth and Roman feel like non-factors in this tag match, to be honest with you. Seth has his own feud with Drew McIntyre for the world title. Roman is just there just to be kind of exposed as, you know, second best to The Rock, right? And it's not believable that Roman would have The Rock ambush Cody in that parking lot on Raw 2 weeks ago. There's no way that he put out that order for The Rock. The Rock ain't taking no orders from Roman Reigns. Since when does The Rock take orders from someone like Roman Reigns, who is beneath The Rock in terms of authority? The Rock, if The Rock is the final boss, then he's the final boss. A final boss is not going to take orders from a tribal chief. You may be a chief, but you're not a boss. A boss, last time I checked, is above a chief. So them trying to get Roman's heat back by having him, quote unquote, put out an order for The Rock to attack Cody, that's BS. That's not believable. Can you picture The Rock The final boss taking orders from a tribal chief, that's not going to happen. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. This is Irrational Wrestling Mark, another edition of Rational Wrestling Talk. Cody Rhodes definitely is to thank for this new version of The Rock, perhaps the best version of The Rock. So that being said, thank y'all for watching, and I'm out. Peace.